I mean, I think you kind of have to be full-time mom.
Yeah. You can be part-time dad.
No.
So we left off how long ago?
So we're back. I think it's been about 7 years.
7 years. It hasn't been 7.
I think it was 2016. Maybe 2017. Maybe
in our
16?
old house. In
I just feel like Meadow was a baby. Meadow's 7 now. And I think she was a baby.
crazy.
So it might have been 5.
We'll have to double check.
Yeah. 5 to 7 years ago.
Yeah.
We started a podcast.
Yes, and it was Show Up to Blow Up. We're not sure if we're going to keep that name, but we are ready. We're just starting.
We're showing up.
We are showing up. We're at our office. And why are we bringing back a podcast, babe?
Well, why did we stop the podcast?
Lots of reasons. We were overwhelmed.
We were overwhelmed.
We had a lot going on. New baby, new
third.
house. We just bought the house.
We were working a lot.
A ton. You were working.
I was working a lot. You were...
Stay-at-home dad, basically.
Yeah.
Not really, but kind of.
Yeah, you were...
Yeah.
You were
I was part-time entrepreneur.
full-time dad. And I was like full-time...
I think I was actually part-time entrepreneur, part-time dad.
I think I was full-time entrepreneur, part-time...
No, I think you were full-time mom, full-time entrepreneur.
That's probably true. That's probably true.
But, I just feel like...
I mean, I think you kind of have to be full-time mom.
Yeah. You can be part-time dad.
No. I think we both need to be... How do you be full-time at 2 things?
Yeah, for sure. But you can. You just kind of are. Yeah, you have to be. Right?
You have to be.
And so we are now full-time podcasters, full-time parents, full-time business owners. And while we still have the office, we're going to use it here. We'll see. They might be tearing this place down. We have this huge office, 3,300 square feet.
And all of our agents are working from home. But we're here.
Yeah, we're
here.
We started, we literally renewed the lease. We've been here for a long time. And we renewed the lease on
March 2020.
March of 2020.
March 1st, 2020, and 2 weeks later.
And you remember what happened? I don't remember what happened during that time.
We all remember.
It's all a blur. But it's okay, because we are back, baby.
Well, we're still showing up.
Yeah, we are. We are still showing up, and we are still blowing up.
We are showing up to blowing up, show up to blow up.
To blowing up, yes.
We're not blowing up.
I don't know. We'll figure out the name. It doesn't really matter what's in it.
I do like it.
It's cool. It's fine. It doesn't matter. It's just...
Yeah, but I think we stopped because we were overwhelmed. And we were trying to do so many things. And I think I was overwhelmed and basically had a little bit of a breakdown. I mean, not a real thing. It wasn't like in a mental institution, but I do remember crying to you one night, telling you, if I maintain this level of function, I will end up in an insane asylum. And like, I need help to stop some of the things I'm doing.
7 years later.
I still feel, no, I'm just kidding. Actually, I feel like personally I've made a lot of progress. I went to therapy for 2 years, basically every week for 2 years. And then I was able to lower that to every other week and then once a month. And now it's as needed, and I haven't really needed it too much lately. Not that I would go in a second if I felt like I did, but it's cool in therapy that you learn tools and you learn why you do the things that you do. And I think I didn't realize why I was doing. And basically, I just kept adding things onto my plate and not removing any of them. And I think from the outside, it looked really good. Like I looked good. And it was like, we're winning. But on the inside, I was like really hurting and struggling and exhausted and tired. And I don't know. I mean, sometimes I would hear these things like, if you're tired, it's just because you're not excited or not inspired. And like, no, I was really inspired, but I came to the harsh reality that I am human. And human means no matter what, like you're limited. And I think for a high achiever, that's really hard to accept. Like learning our own limitations, at least for me, is like, I just think like, no, I could do it all. Like I could take it on. Like I'm built for the fight. Like I got this. And then it's really hard when you realize like, oh, I actually can't. I'm limited. Like my capacity is only so much. And even though it's probably higher than a lot of people, like it's still only so much. And a human can only take so much before you have serious psychological issues or health issues or relationship issues. And I think that was happening. And I just felt like I couldn't fake it. Like I couldn't come on a podcast and talk about like everything being good when I didn't feel that on the inside. If like we're going to do that, it has to be authentic. It has to be real. It has to be, I think the image that is portrayed a lot is like, you can do it all. Like, and it just depends on what do it all means to you. Like what success means to you. Everyone's definition is different. And like you can, but you can't really do everything at the same time. Like things will have to give. And I guess the choice is like, what are you giving? Does that make sense? How do you feel about that?
As a fellow high achiever, are you laughing? I don't know. I'm just completely different in that way that we were talking about this last night and how I just feel like we were listening to another interview, and certain like successful people, they're able to let things not affect them. Like a certain person, one type of person will beat themselves up, and then wonder why they're not succeeding. And so for me, I don't beat myself up, but then I also don't have that desire. Like there's certain things, especially in our industry, in the financial industry, like so many people have this like thing where like they have something to prove, and they like their butt's always burning, and there's never enough. And especially in our specific company, there's like a leaders bulletin and there's ranking. And so you might be number one this month, but next month you better do it again. Next month you better do it again. And there's always somebody beating you. There's always somebody that's like kicking your butt. And it's very difficult for that type of person like you. And that was really affecting you. For me, I was like, man, I'm in a different race. Like I'm trying to compete in life. Now look at my life. We are married, happily married. We just hit 15 years. We have 4 amazing, beautiful, healthy daughters. We live in a beautiful home. We live in a beautiful, as of now, Redondo Beach. We'll see. We might be moving out of California. Stay tuned.
So it's possible.
Stay tuned. And we started a family little podcast, which we love. Or not podcast,
family YouTube channel. It's been so
love. And that's been really cool just because our kids love that stuff.
Yeah.
And they're so creative. They're so
such
fun.
Performers.
Yeah. Moxie. Oh my gosh. Moxie is like already just such, and anything we tell her to do, she just like does it.
She really is great in direction.
It's amazing. And so we're like, well, and they watch it all the time. So I'm like, dude, stop watching other people achieve their goals and dreams.
Or live their life.
Yeah, literally. Oh, dude, it's the dumbest stuff they watch. It's just little family vlogs or kids playing video games.
You're watching other kids play games, but literally we do the same thing as adults.
What do you mean?
Like when we watch reality TV, well, either do I, but I'm just saying like adults do that. Or like.
Well, we're worse. We watch pretend people.
Yeah, we watch people pretending. I mean, I guess when you watch sports, you're watching other people play a game. I don't either.
Formula One.
You're watching golf these days.
Sometimes, but not. It's a little boring.
Yeah.
I like the documentary.
Like the people. When you get connected with the character.
Yeah. Full swing and Drive to Survive stuff. I love that kind of stuff. For sure.
Yeah.
But anyways, so you are there's that type of person. Then me, I don't beat myself up, but I also don't push myself in the way that I want to be pushing myself. And so I'm telling my girls, we should do a family YouTube channel. If you guys really want to like watch it, like let's do it ourselves. But I'm like, well, we're not even doing that. Like we stopped our podcast. We're barely posting on social media. You know, our business is good. But I think what happened to me is like, I was kind of like cutting edge in that stuff where I was like, people were making fun of me, talking crap. Like, oh, you're wasting your time. Why are you doing social media? Like, why are you doing, trying to do a podcast and just saying it was wasting time. And now all those people are doing podcasts. They're all doing social media stuff.
Babe, you've always
And they're like,
your time.
come on, broskies. So,
Unless it's now, and then you're ahead and now going back.
now I'm behind, but it's okay because you know what? It doesn't matter because I know what I'm doing and we can catch up super fast. It also doesn't really matter. I don't care. Again, I'm not in a race. But I do feel like we have something to say. I have something to say. We have built a business. It is a pretty successful business, and we have a successful marriage, and we have these kids, and people are always asking us questions like, how do you do it? And it was like, well, let's just, instead of repeating ourselves over and over, let's put it on social media, put it on lip. And
I think I like the idea of really just being in conversation about like how to be, you know, the best in whatever area, you know, like as parents, as a husband and wife, as leaders, you know, as entrepreneurs, as neighbors, you know, like we should know our neighbors, you know, like in the community, you know, being a light and being the best we can be because life is so short, and having those conversations and getting other people in on the conversations. And, you know, I think one of the things sometimes, the things that would have held me back from coming back to our podcast sooner is like, oh, there's already so many podcasts. And it's like, who cares? There's already so many books. There's already so many movies, but people are still writing books and making movies. And I like to read new stuff. And
children, you want to have another kid.
I still want a fifth kid.
Which we cannot. I got a vasectomy.
Insane. It's not impossible. We still could. It's called a reversal. So we still could, actually. We could adopt.
It's the butterfly. It's not the butterfly, it's a Tootsie Roll.
We could adopt.
Did you see that video I sent you about the other day?
It was the best video.
The kid literally, they're just singing him happy birthday. And he's old. He's probably like
a teenager. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he's tall, maybe 11 or 12. Yeah. Teenager.
And they just start like singing him happy birthday.
It was an adopted.
Never done this for him.
They're adopted.
And he just literally, it's like blow out those, and he can't. He literally just
crying.
Runs hysterically crying to the dad and then the mom. And
I couldn't take it. I was like, I want to adopt a teenager.
You gotta watch it. Click right here. Just kidding. I don't find it. You'll find it. Like and subscribe, people.
Yeah. But what can people expect from our podcast?
Who knows? I have no idea what to expect.
Babe, you have
Here's what I do know. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get more clear as we go. And I also know I want to just be honest. I want to tell the truth. Not just be like, oh, everything's perfect and our business is so great and our family's so great. It's like, it is and it isn't. And I would like to just be honest with that.
It's like, yeah, it is. And there's still challenges every day. And navigating through those challenges in marriage, in parenting, in leadership, in business is something that still happens every day. And I think having conversations about those things, maybe they can help somebody else going through those challenges, you know?
Like our family YouTube, we were talking to a mentor, and he actually has really big YouTube channel and is really good at it. He teaches people how to do it. And he was saying, like, it's so important for us as a family channel to just be wholesome and to, like, just show other kids, like, how it could be, because so many kids, unfortunately, don't have that. Like, I didn't have that. I mean, we did, for sure we did, but my dad wasn't around and things like that. But people don't have moms and dads, and, you know, they're just craving that and wanting that. And so just to, in that world, be able to do that for them. But here, that's different. This is more going to be focused on, like, business, but also family and just conversation,
help,
new honesty, and not like just like cheesy Full House stuff, but like real stuff.
I do pretty much cry every time I watch Full House.
Yeah, that's true. And Fuller House.
Maybe not cry.
She cries on
it's happened before. It's happened before. The kids are like, look at mom, she's crying.
Yeah.
So what would you say, you know, is your vision? Like, what do you really want?
From this?
Just from life.
Well, it's like a weird thing right now because we're trying to figure out if we want to move out of California, and most likely it's going to be Tennessee. We still already have friends, family, cool music scene, more of our values. And so it's looking more and more like we're going to do that summertime of this year coming up. And so it's like kind of thinking about that and having that vision and like where we want our kids to go to school, where we want to live. And then, but like, I really just want to downsize. I want to like simplify. You know, we've talked about this, like we've just like always pushed it. And we still are, but, and I still want to push in other ways. Like I want to 10X our lives in other ways. But like, for example, this office, we got this office when you were pregnant with our first child. And
No, she was born.
She was already
brand newborn.
Yes, the baby Bjorn.
Newborn baby.
And combined income in our business, we both kind of gone full time. We started out part time.
Combined income with the kid, we were making $75,000 a year.
$75,000 a year in Southern California.
Signing a lease, a 3-year lease on an office space. We were like, what are we doing? But we had a vision.
Yes.
And thank God it worked out.
It worked out, for the love of God. And
in a lot of ways, I think that's why we were successful. That's why we've been successful, is because we've always been willing to like take a risk and have faith and back it up with a bunch of action and a bunch of work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep going with your vision. Downsizing. Like basically, we've always pushed it. It's always like, and then we're having another kid, and then we're increasing. And I actually think it's good to increase in responsibility in some ways, because I see people that are literally like in the same house, the same, like have had multiple more kids and in the same place that they were when I met them, you know, over 10 years ago. And it kind of makes me a little bit, not that there's, I mean, everyone's desires are different and, you know, but I feel sometimes like that holds them back from growing because they never take on new levels of ownership and responsibility in their life. And I feel like, it kind of keeps them stagnant.
Recording stopped because what?
I don't know.
I'll say it again. I don't know. I found it setting real connection. Hold them back.
So yeah, I feel like, you know, I observe even in some like of our teammates and our, that they're still in the same living space that they were in, you know, 12 years ago, but now they've had more children. It's tighter. It's not where they want to really live, but it's like the rent is cheap. So, but they want to own, they want more, but they're afraid to take on these new levels of responsibility because really it's scary. And sometimes that can keep people in this level of like stagnancy, where I feel like one of the things that's been good as we've increased our family and our responsibility and our business, you know, obligations, is that it's forced us to step up to it.
Yeah.
You know, like we weren't really ready to be parents. Who is? You know what I mean? Like we weren't really ready to own an office and sign a lease, like at least not financially, but we stepped into it. And that taking ownership forced us to become the people capable of handling it. And so I'm grateful for all that growth. And so I think, however, though, when you are in business, it's really important to like largely minimize the fluff for a long time.
Yeah.
So that you can have a substantial amount of savings that can withstand the ups and downs of business. And so you're not reacting to, you know, there's seasons to everything and you don't want to be reactive. And so I think downsizing your financial obligations, I mean, obviously you got to feed your kids but like in the smart ways, in the wise ways, you know, not in the cheap ways, but like the smart ways, like what is extra that we don't really need?
Yeah. It feels like we've done like push us ourselves, and now I want to push myself in that way.
Yeah.
Like it's like losing weight or getting fit, you know, like working out. It's like, yeah, I want to like get stronger. I want to get like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's kind of like, yeah, I get that. Where it's almost like we're shedding the fat. You want to trim the fat.
Yeah, because it's.
You can't trim any.
I want to get the fat.
You're not allowed to trim any fat. But like, yeah, I want to trim a little fat physically, a little bit. I don't need a ton, a little bit. And I want to trim the fat in our financial obligations and in like all the activities we have.
Our overhead is now like what our annual income was coming into this office.
Yeah, seriously. But like, again, we stepped up into it, and that's good. It made us capable of where we are today. But I think of even like like talking about activities for kids. Like our kids do so much stuff, and it's like, it's just, there's 4 of them. So even if one of them's doing one thing, that's like 4 different activities of pickups and drop-offs. It's like, it's just a lot. And there's like 4 different like classes where you have to make sure of, you know, all of the assignments and the homework and, you know, the projects, and then 4 different, like making sure they go to the dentist and the orthodontist and the ear doctor and the eye doctor, and like all the things. Like, it's just, that's for 4 people.
And for their health insurance, for all of that as an entrepreneur, which was like $1 million a month.
And then for us too, like then taking care of ourselves. And so like trimming the fat and the things that are excess and unnecessary that you kind of just add because you don't have time to slow down.
We're like adding, like our kids' lives are like hectic.
Increase it. That's what I'm saying. Like trim the fat there. Like we don't need to do every single theater production and every single dance for the competition, and like having a family vision of like, what is our vision as a family? And part of that should involve time for rest and for just play, where it's not go, hurry, go, pick up, drop off, homework, make your lunch, go to bed, do it again. It's like, that's how it feels a lot. That was how I pretty much lived as a child. And in a lot of ways, I really liked that. And I do feel like it created like habits in me where I learned at a really young age how to manage a really demanding schedule. But I never did the things that, like, I never did my own laundry. I never, like, you know, did the household things because I was so busy achieving in other areas. And I think, you know, I don't know. That's a good question. Like, is it important to know how to do those things?
I would say no. The laundry, I mean, it's like, I guess, but, you know, you can learn that in 2 seconds. It's just, is it worth the time? It takes a long time. But also, yeah, like it just, like we just have to figure out if when we move, like we're going to have to get another person to do that or not.
Yeah, like I have a question for you. Like, agreed. Like, we talk a lot about how you can like hire people to do things. We've done this our whole life, like hire people to do things.
Real soon, like when we were broke.
I've literally always paid to have a housekeeper, even when I was a waitress. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was a waitress, and I was 22 years old, and you were working at a coffee shop, and once a month, just somebody to like clean the bathrooms and do the deep cleaning. I mean, there's only 2 of us at that time. And then we had 1 kid and it happened. And then we transitioned to once every other week, and then once a week, and then 3 times a week, and then every day.
And now 2. We have, we have a woman that literally just does the laundry and ironing.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Like, that's what I mean. Trim the fat. Like, our kids can learn how to do laundry.
Yeah.
I can learn how to do laundry.
I can learn how to do laundry. I think I do know how to do it. I never did it. I didn't do it either growing up.
Who did it?
My sisters and my
the women, of course.
Yeah, but I think mainly my mom. I can't really remember.
But you didn't do it. What did the guys have to do?
Trash, gardening stuff, dog poop.
That's good.
Like,
that's fair.
All bunch of cleaner rooms and.
Like, you still have responsibility.
Oh yeah. We were still. My grandma would make us, like, we'd be like running late to school, and she'd be like, "You have to clean up the dog poop first." I'm like, "I'm gonna be late. Should I clean it up?"
See, that's good. We don't do that to our kids.
No.
Our kids.
We're starting.
Yeah, it's boot camping.
Podcast started.
Family boot camp.
Boom.
Taking on some responsibility.
Oh, up to clean up.
I think, like, I would prefer that the men do the dog poop and the trash, and I'd be happy doing the laundry. Oh, but what I was gonna say is like, we've always paid for people to do those things, and the thought was you could pay somebody else, and then it frees up your time to do what? To be more productive, to work, to build, to do things where you can make more. But I will say that there came a point in my life where I had such a packed schedule that there really was no time to even think. And I'm not saying that you need to like do laundry in order to think, but there's something that seems to me like somewhat therapeutic about doing the dishes or doing the laundry, where it's almost like it's like you don't have to think about what you're doing while you're doing it, but you're still, and you're doing a task, you're like being productive, but you're able to like think.
Yeah. For sure. I definitely think that.
So I think there's something valuable about that. Even like washing your car.
I like when you, and it also feels good like when you like make dinner, you're like kind of like thinking, but also you like make it.
I love it.
It's like a thing that you like accomplish. Like I kind of feel like in business, it's not like a physical accomplishment necessarily. It's like, okay, cool. Like we made money or whatever. But like when you make something or do something, you're like, there it is. Like,
and you give it to somebody and they enjoy it.
Yeah. Unless it's Sadie.
Unless it's like
we chicken nuggets.
It's true. Yeah.
Spicy. I'm like, babe, this is not spicy. This is.
Yeah, that was probably last night.
Yeah, orange chicken, but it's not spicy.
I know. She does.
I'm afraid that you might not be allowed to, because the mic's supposed to be like definitely.
Oh, okay. So
try to stay.
Okay. Oh, that was one of the things I was going to say was like, I think everybody questions, there's already so many out there. Somebody's done it first, somebody's done it before, but like each one of us bring our own unique perspective. And if that unique perspective can connect and relate or help somebody else, great. Then we should just do it. And I think that's the point. And that's something that we've done, I think, pretty well in our life is showing up, putting one foot in front of the other, never giving up, and really focusing on getting better in every area of our life. And that's what we want this podcast to be about, a community of people that are on the same page that like, yeah, I want to make my marriage the best relationship it can be. And I want more intimacy. And I want to have a quality relationship with my kids and do the best that I can as a parent and, not react emotionally and raise them well to be well, thriving, members of the community. And I want to be seen as a leader, and whether that's a leader in business or a leader in the community, or we're all even a leader of a family, like everything rises and falls in leadership. So how can we come and show up as better leaders for our businesses, for our teams, for our churches, for our communities, for our families?
Yeah. And so when we show up, when we say blow up, we mean like explode in a good way.
Yeah.
Blowing up our marriage, I guess. But blowing up we're the Rockets, we were Rocket Mocketts, we always say that. And so just showing up to blow up. We don't want to blow up a rocket either, though. I just realized that rockets a blow up, that's a failure. So
that's
when we say blow up, we just mean explode in a good way, in business. Growth, yeah. And so we're excited. And so thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe. Tell people about it. And
join us in the journey.
It's only going to get better from here. It's only up from here. Stay tuned for the explosion.